Hey everybody, how you doing? Jeff here, back with another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. This one, I just wanted to discuss the game itself. It's been out for a week now, and I've been playing it a ton. I love the original game. I love this game. Beautiful graphics, still that great fun gameplay, the great loot hunt, but there's definitely some changes that need to be made for console. To start off, let's go for the big one, lobbies. We absolutely have to get a lobby system. What's in here right now is not working. They've got the party finder here, and they've got all these different search options by act, by bosses, and nothing pops up. It's not functioning. Myself, my friends, other people I've seen posting online, nobody can get into games. You might find a person here and there occasionally, but in general, this just is not matching you up with anyone. It's just basically a solo game. It feels very solitary. Luckily, I've got a couple friends that I'm playing with, and so I've been able to group some, and even that is more difficult. Uh, to do it on console, you have to do so many clicks to invite, to accept. There's just not a fast, convenient way to get into games and get playing with people with similar interests, to do bail runs, to trade, to do any activity you want. And it's just very frustrating. We're left behind. In the old game, it used to be you get into quick games, 8-player games like bail runs, and get good experience, good drops because of the full games, and you can trade easily. Get items you need. Hey, I got the sorceress item. You got that paladin item. Let's swap, or runes, and it's just not happening. They had said they're trying to get this game as close to the original first to deliver that package, and this is not it. This one change of no lobby makes it a completely different game, and they absolutely need to be added to console. And to go a little further regarding inviting your friends to game, on Diablo 3, it was actually very convenient. There was a little box in the top right. It was one or two clicks from your friends who are online, and you were in a game with them. On this one, I'm at the title screen. I'm going to click play. I'm going to go to Party Finder, tab over to Friends List. Let's say I want to invite my buddy here. X for that. X to show profile. Oh, there it is. Invite to game. X. Diablo 2 Resurrected. X. Hell, Act 1. X. And then pick a profile. X. And then finally there's an invitation sent. And I mean, it's just very lengthy process. I wish that could be sped up some. Okay, so another concern that was brought up is how to heal mid-combat. On the PC, the menus are separate. You kind of have a left side and a right side on the screen. And that allowed you to be in combat, battling away. If you're low on potions in your belt, you could bring up your inventory and refill your belt. You could use a potion directly from your inventory, which you still can, but at least you could see then. On console, you cannot see what's happening. Now, there are a couple things to help with that. If you can see, I've got just one potion in each slot here. If I hit my D-pad left to use the first potion slot, it goes away. It actually shows kind of a shadowy version. It's built in that it will pull from your inventory automatically if you have potions there. So I can still hit D-pad left even though I'm out of potions in that slot to heal. There, now I'm actually completely out of potions. I don't have any in my inventory, so that tells me, okay, I'm out of potions in my inventory. The other one is if you hover over your belt, you can push R3 to quickly refill those potions. So if you can run away from combat a little bit, bring up your belt real quick, R3, and it'll auto-populate as long as you have those in your inventory. So there are a couple solutions in there, but that was a concern that I've heard several times from people for mid-combat. Keyboard support. This kind of ties back into the first one, just needing a lobby and better communication in general. On console, there's really no way to communicate with someone. If they're on your friends list, you just join a voice chat with them. If you're in a game with a random, you really have very little options. You can toggle R3 to bring up this menu of very simplified messages, uh, but you can't hardly communicate much of anything. If you wanted to trade something or ask them about going into another game, you have really no way of doing that. So keyboard support, and going along with that would be like a player's 8 option that people have brought up for single player, because there's no way to type that in, obviously. Perhaps there could just be an option in the menu over here to toggle that on and off. And then another one is just to fully explain the controls. There are a lot of shortcuts and things that are just not explained. Now, if you go into the options here, there is a help option, and it does basic commands of what buttons are, what the hot bars are, and the UI in general. But there are several shortcuts that are not listed. It took me and many other people. I actually have a video about it, about just simply how to heal your mercenary, and that's not explained anywhere. That took a long time for some people. How to change your minimap. My minimap's in the top left. Well, I can push and hold the touchpad to move it around to a different position. And that's not explained anywhere. And other things similar to that, just a quick tutorial or some list of those somewhere would be extremely helpful. All right, next that we've discussed a lot is the ability to actually move the mini-map. And I don't mean switch positions like there it's top left, top right, or full screen. I mean to actually be able to scroll through. Like I've explored some of the crystalline passage here, and on PC you used to be able to hold shift or something, and then you actually had control to move the mini-map around to see the areas you've already explored. And as far as I'm aware, there's no way to do that, and that would be very helpful to quickly see what area you still need to cover. These next ones kind of move into more quality of life stuff. A big one, though, is just being able to allocate stat points better. As it is now, it's a very slow process on console. PC, it was just always click, click, click. Every time you clicked, it would put a point in, and it was very quick to allocate those. You could even hold shift or something or right click, and it would allocate all the points to that specific stat you were doing. And this one, it's very slow. Here, I'm going to put 10 points into vitality. We'll see how long that takes. Okay, and that's me pushing X and holding it for a second. Then I have to release, push and hold again, release, push and hold again. And in the first beta round, it was actually, I could push and just hold, and it would continuously fill them while holding it. I'm not sure why they changed that, but now this is an extremely slow process. Or even if something would just pop up, you could click on it and it would pop up a number box, like when you're going to do gold, and I could put in the X number of points that I wanted to do. And on a low level character like that, my assassin, 10 points, 20 points, not a big deal. You get to a higher level character and you're going to respec, and you've got 400, 500 stat points to put in. That took about maybe 1 second per point. Simple math, and you're looking at 7 minutes, 8 minutes spent simply putting in 1 point at a time. That's nuts, and it's such a waste of time, and that has to change. The gold that I just mentioned, that's kind of frustrating also. It's really slow to move gold around. If you wanted to move gold, you don't have an option to move over to any different place value. It's just in the ones there, and you hold up and down until it slowly scrolls to the amount that you want. I don't know why you can't just like move left and right here to the different columns and put in exact numbers, but that would be a welcome change. And then another one that people have brought up a lot, asked questions about, is there a shortcut to refill potions and books quicker? Again, I think on PC you could hold a button, shift or something, right click, and it would refill all of them. On here, it's just you got to just pound the button over and over, which doesn't take that long, but it would be nice to just have the option of a full refill. And as far as I'm aware, there's no option for that. And this one's just a real quick one. You can see in the top right there, it says I'm in the rogue encampment. The difficulty is hell. And if I am done doing my runs, I've killed Bale and Pindle and whoever I want to make a new game. I quit. If I go back to make another new game real quick, it doesn't keep track of what difficulty I'm on. And several times myself and my friends have just clicked normal, and then it's kind of frustrating. Oh, I'm in normal. I got to exit back out to start the game again. So it would be nice if the game just saved whatever difficulty your last game was played on, so you could quickly get back into another game. And then the last one I wanted to talk about here was coming from new players. I've got a few friends that are just getting into Diablo 2 Resurrected, and some of them have played Diablo 3. One has never played any Diablo ever, and they are just kind of lost on what to do, what items are and whatnot. So kind of been going along with the previous one about maybe a tutorial just of the controls or information about the controls, having a menu option explaining some of this stuff, what runes are, what gems are, what jewels and charms are, what you can do with them, some socketed items, that sort of thing. They just don't have a clue. We had talked about, my friends and I have played a long time, about maybe having a journal in the menu where if a rune drops, say, an ith rune drops, that will then be entered into a journal and it'll pop up some recipes that you can use it in. Um, you know, this game has been around a long time. There's tons of resources outside of the game. Uh, we're thinking just to make it more friendly for new players and easier access to them, have something along these lines to help them understand the game a little better. And another one that they mentioned also was quests. The quests can be confusing, of course. Some of them are main quests that you can't miss. Other ones are optional that you can absolutely miss, and you don't have any idea where you need to go. There's no quest markers. And they said they would like to see something to help lead them along a little bit so they at least had some idea of where they were trying to go. And then one final thing that some of those players asked me about was the trading system. It's great that trading is in here, they thought, but then they asked about the mail system from Diablo 3, where you can mail items to friends. And I thought, hey, that's not a bad thought, because obviously inventory space is precious. You can see my guy's pretty maxed out here on space. So if we could get an item that we know our friend wants and just mail it right away, that would help save that space and keep things less cluttered. Okay, so those are my thoughts on the current state of the game on console. I know some people are getting frustrated for sure with some of these issues, the server issues, being locked out of games, no lobbies, and lots of these other issues that we've been talking about. But hang in there. Blizzard has said they're going to support the game, and they've had some patches already. Hopefully, some of these changes come sooner than later, definitely. And be sure to add any of your own thoughts down in the comments. Put suggestions that you have. If you agree, if you disagree, if you think some other ideas, throw those down there. Let's get them out there, and hopefully they'll be heard by someone somewhere that can actually do these. And I will catch you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hopefully that'll help push this video up and get it noticed more. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.